Hello, Moana Sorka here. I said I would come on really quickly and shuffle my deck and see what Spirit has to say today. Sacred space. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Sacred space. Do you know as well? Actually, what's standing out to me for a long time is, and I've been seeing it a lot online, is about a lot of these sacred spaces where there's sacred circles, sacred groups, and they're lovely in that. But what do we do when we come away from that space? When we go to these spaces to heal and do some inner work, and how do we carry that home with us? And what do we do to continue to bring in the sacred every day? And what I like to do is I like to have an altar. I have an altar here in my room and in my sitting room. And on the days that I really want to offer something up, I light the candle, I shuffle, put out a card for intention, set the intention that today I'm going to tackle something that I don't want to face and offer it up to Spirit. And you see that so much in the religious communities where you might fast, you might have a meal, you might not have one meal and offer it to God. It's a similar practice. So it's offering something up to Spirit, the mundane jobs, and just surrendering it up. How I bring the sacred into every day is so simple. It's literally take myself out in nature, look at the sky, see what the sky is bringing into my awareness, walk the ground, feeling and hearing, like feeling the stones underneath my feet crunching as I take the steps, like feeling the stones moving under my feet, hearing the sound of the crunching of the stones, listening to the river, as I go along the walkway here. There's a river, kind of a stream, and it's beautiful. And you can, when you bring your awareness into that, you're coming into yourself, but you're also bringing the nature in. And I really don't think you can get any more sacred than that, because by being out in nature we're present with ourselves. And like, I personally feel I can't get any more sacred than that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a god or whatever. I'm saying that the smallest little things in our day is what bring us back to ourself, our sacred center. And we have everything within ourselves. We have the healing, we have the wise person, we have everything within ourselves. And in the world we live in, we can go to the ayahuasca retreat, we can go to the healing circle, we could go to the women's circle or the sacred circles or the fires or the festivals, and they're beautiful, they're absolutely lovely spaces. But what do you do when you come home and you're in the real world, when you're faced with, being a mum, trying to get everything done? You've got your work, everything else going on, family life, married life, um, and the dogs and everything. Like, what do you do? Like, when you move away from the festival you were at, if it was Ishnok or the Lunasa ceremony, that's really put into practice. I feel personally we can all go to these sacred spaces. We can all go into a sacred space, and it's absolutely beautiful, lovely place to release and surrender. But the true sacredness is coming into ourselves, is in the quiet, that quiet moment in nature where you're just walking and you're just being. That's really coming into the sacred, coming into my sacred space. And I think everyone has a sacred space within them, you know that's the soul. And how I bring that into every day is I light the candle sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I light a candle, I have my altar, I write a little note, set an intention, I pull a card. Um, and you don't have to have any of that stuff. You know, we can get up in the morning, set the intention that I'm going to hand this over today or work on this. And I've been doing this now for a while, and I've been committing to my spiritual practices, and I've also been committing to myself. And I think it's so important for everyone to um, have that they can come into their self, you know. So if I don't know what you do or what you would do, but if there is something that you do share, like, and pop it down under in the comments, you know. If there's something you like to do, is it get out into a body of water, you know. And it doesn't always involve something outside of ourselves. Sometimes it just involves being with ourselves. And it was something that was coming up for me for a while, because I see so much online about the sacredness, the sacred places and the sacred circles and all these beautiful ceremonial things. And we don't need to be in circles and groups and retreats to have that sacred space. You can always have that sacred space wherever you go, and you can carry that sacred space with you always. Um, and I find sometimes just, you know, me when I'm out on a walk picking up sticks, you know, and just watching the beauty of nature around me is sacred. It brings me back into myself, and it fills my cup. And I light the candle at my altar, and the candle is like bringing the awareness, bringing the light in, and bringing the awareness into what I want to work on in the day. And I have candles lighting there now, and I've just sent some distant healing to some friends, and that is lovely. Like, just what you do in your own space, in your own time, in your own home. So if you have something that you like to do, um, and even the mundane chores around the house can be so sacred. Like, there's sacredness in everything. We just find it and you know, step into it. Um, you know, and there's learning from everything. So if you have something that you do that you feel, you know, brings you back into your sacred center and your sacred self, um, or that is a ritual around bringing the sacred into every day, do write it on the comments. I'd love to know. So yeah, I hope you have a great week. Bye.